Like the title states, in recent weeks we've come into an influx of flat tires around here. Not just little punctures, but full-blown slices down the center of the tire. This was even prior to the tour of destruction. Just out of nowhere, we got a lot of flat tires on the quads, the Rangers, personal vehicles. Not much on race cars on race day, but just a lot of flat tires. So, time to come up with a solution. And in this box is what I think is going to help us solve that problem. And that is a really big magnet. This is a shielded magnet from Shields Magnetics. It is a big 60-inch magnet that is encased in this aluminum box. So when it's dragging, or the point I think, is when it's hanging off of a vehicle or whatnot, it picks up all the metal, and then you could actually lift up the magnet itself to release all that it picks up. But today, we got to figure out how to mount this on the vehicle, and I think I decided what it's going to go on the front of, and that is one of the quad blower setups, and I have one right here. I thought with this is that this magnet is going to hang off the front of this quad. Not sure exactly how this is going to go. It did come with some eye bolts. I went to Tractor Supply, purchased some other items that we're going to use to hang it from this front bracket, like brush guard. I think it's plenty strong, so let's get to work hanging this up on the brush guard, and then let's go test out if the magnet will help us with all of our flat tires. We'll go ahead and get these eye bolts in here, pre-threaded. I also went to Tractor Supply, found these adjusters. I thought that'd be a good way, because I'm not sure how close this magnet has to sit to the ground for it to work. So that's kind of a test that we're going to be running throughout this video to see, does it work better when it's closer to the ground, or does it still work when it's a little bit further away? So we'll run these adjusters. So we could have, I think it says it's like 10 inches of adjustment. Same length. Now we have the magnet mounted to the front of the quad. I backed off these adjusters all the way, so it's the max they could go down. And now I'll just, I guess, lift it up off the ground. So now it's hanging off the ground, but I feel like it should be higher than that. Maybe not. Because that's the adjusters maxed out now. So there's no adjustment for any more height. It could go lower, but I almost feel like it should be up this high. So maybe I'll tighten up these lines. That seems better. I like that. The final product, I moved where it was located because before I had it up here on this part of the brush guard, but it was too close to the tires, I thought. And now it's off the front edge. Doesn't look the best, but it looks like it will clear the tires. Got the GoPro mounted up. Let's go see if this works and if we pick up any metal. Let's go head out on track and try out the new magnet attachment on the quad. Well, just on the drive down here, ran into a couple problems. Probably shouldn't have mounted the GoPro to the front of the magnet. Ended up falling off and ran it right over. It's still working. but the magnet itself is hitting the ground just because of the travel on the quad. I didn't have myself sitting on there with my weight, or whoever drives it weight. Watch how much that magnet drops, right? You see that? From there to there. So just on that travel alone is enough where when the quad is going on the different angles, say that the banking or the flat, the corners are hitting. So you can see, oh, we picked up some stuff. Nothing crazy. So I'm gonna have to raise this magnet up quite a bit just so it doesn't hit on the transfer between all the on and off the track, the banking, the flat, or else this is just gonna have to be a one-time use, not just mounted permanently on the front of this quad. I was hoping I could leave this on here for a whole Friday night because I think it's gonna pick up quite a bit during race night. So let me adjust this. I'm gonna raise it up even more so it doesn't hit the ground and we don't damage a brand new magnet. So I raised it up quite a bit. Gonna go ahead and drive around the top of the track. I have not cleaned off the track yet, so we're gonna see what this magnet picks up. Like I said, my GoPro mount has seen better days. I think the GoPro is still okay, but probably shouldn't have put it on the front of the quad then run it over. Let's go ahead, head up to the top of the track and see what we pick up with the magnet. Peak. We didn't get far from where we started. We started right there. Not much picked up. Definitely some metal, nothing big. I think it's working. I mean, we could test it pretty easily. Inside this quad is a ton of parts that we find on the track. Let's see. We'll go ahead and throw down a hood pin. Maybe a bolt. Ooh, a bearing. Oh. Let's see, there's 3 pieces. Let's see if it picks it up. Oh, didn't pick up the bearing. Didn't pick up this bolt or the bearing. What the heck? But it did pick up the hood pin. Didn't pick up that washer. I didn't throw that on there. So clearly this has to be a lot lower. So I'm just adjusting this brace here until it's picking up these items. Oh, got the bearing. And there's the bolt. So I guess it does have to be pretty low to pick up metal. Like I said, I picked up the hood pin. No problem with that. Let's go grab that washer that it missed. Where did I see a washer? Right here. Okay. So it looks like the magnet does have to be pretty low, so we're not gonna be able to drive with it unless I put on like the winch itself to lower it down. Let's go ahead, keep driving around, see if we pick up anything else off the track that we don't specifically put down in front of the magnet. We've now done 3/4 of a lap and drove through where there was a big pile up on Saturday's event. Let's see what the magnet has picked up now. I know it worked. I heard some pieces being picked up. Let's see here. Oh, that's the bearing that we... Oh, another hood pin. That's not the original. Oh, that's the original hood pin. That's a new piece right there. Let's see here. What is that? Oh, a Zeus spring. So it's definitely doing its job of picking up some items. The coolest part about this is that bar there, you lift up to release the magnet, which I should try to do somewhere where I won't have to pick this all up again. We've done one lap now. With the magnet. Also went down pit road. You can see it picked up quite a few items, a lot of small stuff. So now I'm going to pull this lever and we'll see what falls off. Oh, it's strong. That's stronger than I thought it would be. Let me push the quad back. And here's what we picked up in one lap. Yeah, a couple of these, like this one, that I threw on there, but all the small stuff that I didn't do. This hood pin I threw on there, but again, a lot of small stuff with it. Picked up a lug nut. Looks like someone's roller bearing blew out. Some sort of clip. Nails. What do we got on this end? Oh, that stinks. Someone's C-clip that popped out. It's a little bit of chrome. So it definitely does the job of picking up some items. A lot of the finer material gets picked up, which I guess is good. I don't know what all that would be from. Shouldn't be any metal in any of our tires like this, but there's a lot of the finer metal. A couple washers here and there. The magnet itself does pick up quite a few metal pieces, a lot of the finer material itself. Kind of surprised of how low this has to be to the ground to pick up these pieces. Because with any like uneven surface, the magnet seems to hit, unless it's, maybe I have to mount it to the center of the quad. Because what's happening is when I sit on it, the magnet drops a little bit, number one. Then any sort of bump in the track or change of terrain, the magnet folds down underneath, and yeah, it doesn't, everything just falls off the magnet because it hits the ground. So it kind of defeats the purpose of having the magnet hanging in front of the tires. But overall, it does pick up material. I'll go ahead and use it a couple more times here around the track before I actually do a deep clean of blowing off the walls and cleaning off all the rubber. Drove down pit road a couple times. That's where it picked up, I'm guessing, this lug nut. We'll go ahead, keep working this magnet, see what else we pick up, check back in before I'm all done. But this is one way to pick up some metal for sure. I'm not sure if I'll have this on the quad for race nights because You kind of have to drive slow too in order to make it work, because it can't swing back and forth unless I can make it a solid mount, because it looks like it's supposed to be on forks. That's how it looks like they build them, but I don't have forks, so that's not going to work. But overall, let's head back out on track, keep using the magnet, drive around the property a little bit more, see what we pick up. After about an hour with the magnet, driving around all throughout the property, mostly on track, this is what we ended up with from the magnet. Quite a bit of stuff, actually. Some excess burnout rubber, I don't know, a grill screen, or part of what used to be a grill screen, and a lot of rusted parts that have been there on the ground for a while. Nothing too crazy. Quite a few, like this nail, that's not ideal. Flat tire, flat tire, flat tire, flat tire, flat tire, flat tire. Definitely flats. That one will give you a flat. Yep. Still flat. That one, that might be a little difficult to get a flat, but I bet you I can make it happen. These small ones, flats, flat. That'll get you a flat. That'll slice you wide open. Flat. Definitely did its job of picking up a lot of these metal pieces. There's a lot of this finer metal as well, which I'm not 100% sure what that is exactly from. Because a lot of this I didn't pick up near the burnout pad, so I could see like this is what was left of the burnout tire, so that those metal shavings are just everywhere out in the infield, but they're cleaned up pretty good because this is all I really got left. But this finer metal, I don't know, it's just, I guess over time all the race cars driving around just letting off a little pieces of metal here and there. But overall it did do quite a bit of metal pickup. I don't think it's feasible to have this out on track hanging off the front of the quad every Friday, because a problem I do have is how low it hangs and it bottoming out. So it hit the ground quite a few times, which I'm afraid would damage it. You can see there's still quite a bit of metal on there. But like I said, these corners kept hitting the ground. You have to go very slow with it. So out on track when this blower is in use, generally they're going a lot faster, and I don't want this magnet holding them up. So might be something that's put to the side and I mount up to the quad again when needed. But it did do its purpose, picked up quite a bit of metal. I think it worked relatively well. Comment down below if you think there's a better way I could mount this permanently. I still have to be able to access this pull handle to release the magnets and clean off the magnet itself. Let me know if you guys think of any other way we could mount this magnet, not only to a quad, maybe to the Ranger or a different vehicle. Yeah, I think it's a good piece to have here at the track for cleanup if need be. I'm happy with how it came out and how it worked. Got this from shieldsmagnets.com. They have quite a few different sizes. This is kind of their middle grade one, I think, or I think they have a couple more bigger than this, but decided to go with this one and picked up quite a bit. Now, for those of you that are wondering, we did race this past weekend, Friday and Saturday, fall final weekend. Friday was just the SK. We ended up, I think, 15th. Not the best running. Had some mechanical issues we were fighting. Saturday, we ran the SK and the open mod. We're hoping for better results in the SK, and it went terribly south. We had quite a, what I would call, massive mechanical failure. Something we just overlooked that we didn't know about the new car. And we're not sure how long we've been fighting the problem. So we got that fixed, ready for our final Friday night this Friday. With the open car, we ended up 10th place. It was quite a long race. It was 80 laps, but I think in total it took 2 hours. A lot of wrecking towards the end of the feature. In the end, we ended up finishing 10th. Shouldn't have got that finished based off the laps before. We were running about 25th and we just put our tire on with 5 to go. So luckily we dodged the wrecks and ended up 10th. The next race for the Open Modified will be at Waterford Speed Bowl this coming Saturday for their finale weekend with the Modified Racing Series. Excited to head back down to Waterford. home of Monaco Ford, Niantic, Connecticut. Excited to represent them. If you guys are coming out to the races, come out Friday night, Stafford Speedway, SK Modifieds for the final race of the year here at Stafford, championship night. Then Saturday with a tour type modified down at Waterford Speedway with a modified racing series. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Little track life update, trying to get this magnet to work. Let me know down in the comments if you could think of another way to get this magnet mounted up and how to make it work. Thank you guys for watching. Throttle down and see you guys at the races.